Hi TikTok, hi TikTok, hi TikTok. Why TikTok nasacwabita guys? Mobilization part was stress because why are you blinking? Okay. Hi everybody. Let's do this. Okay, TikTok has to bow a bit because I'm so Yes. Yes. Hi everybody. Hi Umzulu. Okay. You guys, let's do this. Yo, Facebook not so nude. I am so not nude, guys. I'm wearing things, yeah. I'm feeling a laptop, guys. Hi everybody. Welcome on, welcome all. Welcome TikTok, welcome Facebook, and we are back again to our Friday sessions. Our You Got This Dearest Mommy sessions, okay? Let me share the live. All right. Before we go any further, I just want to announce that I have lost a dearest friend, a brother, soul tribe, twin flame. You guys, I lost a person closest to my heart. Most of you know him here on TikTok. If you're in TikTok, let me just do this a bit. Yes, there he is. Lulumtagati Bonine. Guys, to everybody who knew him, condolences. For me, yeah. For me, I don't even know what to say because, wow. I lost a brother. I lost a twin flame. I lost soul tribe. I lost... yeah. But then I just wanted to make that announcement because today I may not be a bit at my best because I'm still trying to understand as to how, when, why. You see those kind of things that happen after you've lost somebody, especially when you've lost them while you guys were it's fine, such is life, right? Such is life. Okay guys, yes, today we are on week 12 and we are talking developmental milestones in the first year, right? Okay, so before we dive into it, I would like to invite and also appreciate all those who have supported and would love to support me in buying my books and the diary I use here. So there is a book called Born Into Change. It goes hand in hand with this diary called You Got This, Dearest Mommy. This is a diary whereby you just journal your feelings, journal what you've learned, journal what you look forward to, journal what you felt before the lesson and after the lesson, right? And also don't worry, it's not overwhelming, right? The emotions, they are guides as to how you can write down the emotions. The emotions are also included at the back of the diary, so I am trying by all means to prevent the sense of overwhelm, because I know that as a mom... Hi Patricia, please renew your PM, Your Majesty. As a mom, you easily get overwhelmed by these tiny things, like just having to think of the emotion you are having, or having to feel the emotion you are feeling. You don't even know whether you have feelings or not, right? You're just overwhelmed by everything. So what I did was I also included the emotions at the back of the diary so that you can just copy and paste. No need to think, no need to feel, no need to get into yourself and all of those things. Just copy and paste. And when you're okay, when you feel like you have enough strength to understand and assimilate your true feelings, then maybe you can edit or continue from there, right? So that's how the diary works, right? So and then the book Born into Change is a book that guides you into, if you're an adult, healing your inner child, healing your childhood traumas, or understanding what happened to you when you were a child, and also how to live your life in the present and what to expect in the future, right? It's just a guidance book for everybody, really, regardless of age, gender, race, and so not you. If you just have a belly button, if you were born of a woman, then this book is for you. It guides you through all of these milestones in life, right? From birth until death, right? Until, in fact, beyond death, depending on your beliefs, okay? So let's get to it, right? Today we are on week 12 and we are talking developmental milestone in the first year of your child and mother, right? It's just a relationship between mother and child. Okay, so the first disclaimer I'd love here to put forth is that every baby develops in their own pace, right? There is no right or wrong, there is no early or late, there is just development. If the baby is hitting the milestones, then fine and well. It's not a race, it's not a deadline, right? It's just a marker of milestones, okay? So number one, what are developmental milestones, okay? These are observable skills or behaviors that mark stages, okay? That's what developmental milestones are. And they mark stages of growth, like rolling, sitting, bubbling, etc. Okay, these help track progress. We are tracking progress, these milestones, right? Again, these are observable skills or behaviors that mark stages of growth. They mark stages of growth. They help track progress. They are not rigid deadlines that by this time they should have, by this time they should have. No, they're just marking growth in line with the stages. And these are averages, they're not absolute, right? Whatever I'm going to say here, I'm not saying that at this time, at exactly this time, the baby should, right? No, it's just an average that at around this age, most babies are doing this. Your baby may do it early, your baby may do it later. It doesn't matter as long as they reach the milestone, or you can see that they are developing towards reaching the milestone. Then that's good, right? So the first subtopic we're going to talk about is the physical milestones, right? So from 0 to 3 months, we're expecting a baby to lift their head, follow object with their eyes, right, and grasp fingers, right? That shows that the baby is participating and willing to develop further, right? For me, my babies lift their heads at birth, right? But then, thank you, Zasati. Welcome, Your Majesty, right? My babies, they lift their heads. Both of them lifted their heads at birth, right? And it doesn't mean that they are geniuses or they are gods. No, it just means that they reached their milestones early, right? But then, as I've said, from 0 to 3 months, we're expecting this. Maybe your baby doesn't lift their head at 3 months, right? But then when you see that they are developing towards doing it, it's a good sign. Okay, 4 to 6 months, we're expecting a baby to roll over, sit without support, reach for toys, right? It's not, again, I always say this, I'm saying that we're expecting because it's an average, but otherwise it's not a rigid expectation that if you're not doing it, it means you're dumb or you're abnormal. No, right? Again, if they are working towards it, it's a good sign, because I will then talk about signs to watch out for, when to seek for support when it's starting to be troubling, right? Because there is a threshold of saying now something is wrong. Okay, so don't just relax and say that, oh, Beacon of Light said it's not a deadline, it's right. No. I'm not saying that it's just absolutely okay for a baby. No. So I'm just saying that to watch out for these signs. Okay. And then at 7 to 9 months, we're expecting a baby to sit independently, crawl, transfer object between hands, right? At 7 to 9 months. It may be early, it may be late, it may be after 9 months. It's fine, right? As long as they are developing towards it. At 10 to 12 months, physically, we're expecting a baby to pull things to try to stand up. Pull to stand, right? They are pulling objects to stand, and they are cruising along furniture, grabbing onto furniture, walking using furniture as an assistance to walk. That is 10 to 12 months, we're expecting that. And also at 10 to 12 months, they may take the first steps without assistance, start walking, taking first steps, right? Some may even be walking, just like with me, especially with my kids. They walk at exactly 12 months. Both of them, they walked at at the exact mark. At the exact 12-month mark. My babies started walking, both of them. So it may be earlier than that, it may be late than that. As long as they're developing towards it, it's fine. Okay. And then number 3, let's move on to the cognitive and language milestone. Okay. So from 0 to 3 months, we're expecting a baby to recognize voices whenever they're hearing mommy's voice, right? Whenever they're hearing papa's voice, their siblings' voice, right? They start to recognize voices, and you see by their actions that they're recognizing that this is mom. Sometimes when they hear mom's voice, you may see them nibbling into their hands, meaning that they are craving boob, or they are drooling for boob, right? Whenever they are hearing the siblings' voice, they maybe throw their legs in excitement, anticipating to play, right? So you can see by that okay, now the baby is recognizing voices, right? They may start cooing, those sounds, right? They may start sounding them out loud. Okay, they may also respond to sound when they hear loud music, right? They may get startled or turn their heads, right? At 0 to 3 months. And then at 4 to 6 months, babbling starts. Blah, 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 those sounds, right? They're not cooing now. They're blah, 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 babbling, right? They respond to their name. When you call their name, they jerk their head or look your direction. You see that, oh, they now recognize and respond to their name. They explore with their mouth, right? They start, tasting things, putting things in their mouth, right? So at 4 to 6 months, we're expecting that. And then 7 to 9 months, they understand no. When you say no, they stop it, depending on whatever language you use, or don't do it, right? For you, the two. For you, the two. Okay, go. Okay, where was I? Sorry, guys. Yes, depending on the language you're using, or nangabe yegela, right? They start responding to that. If you're using no, they start responding to that no. And they may start imitating sounds. That is at 7 to 9 months. They start imitating sounds. When they're saying goo goo, they may say goo goo. When they're saying gaga, when they're saying wah, they may also say wah, right? It's a point whereby they can imitate sounds. And they also look for hidden objects. When you hide something, they now have the concept of this thing hasn't disappeared. I know it's hidden, therefore I have to look for it. Wherever it is, I will find it, right? They now have that concept of things don't just disappear. They may be hidden. Okay. So, and then at age 10 to 12 months, they start saying mama, dada, depending on whatever language you're using. They may start pointing, they, right? They understand simple instructions. Go get that, or stand up, sit down, clap your hands, those kind of things, right? And again, with this aspect also, my babies develop earlier. And also, it doesn't mean that when babies are developing either they're genius or they've got this life thing first. No, we're getting to that. And also, getting it late, it doesn't mean that they're slow learners or they have poor intelligence. No, we'll get to that, okay? As long as the baby is working towards achieving that milestone, it means that they are on the right track. There is no late, there is no early. There is just the right track, right? Okay. On to social and emotional milestones. We started with physical milestones, and then we went on to cognitive and language milestones, and now we are on social and emotional milestones. Okay, at 0 to 3 months, a baby starts smiling responsively, right? They enjoy being held. When you hold them, you can see that they're enjoying this thing, right? Oh snap. Forgive me, guys. Okay. At 4 to 6 months, we expect a baby to start laughing. Oh, how late my younger one developed laughing, guys. I started to be worried because it was even way beyond 6 months. Yet the average is 4 to 6 months. My baby started laughing at 9 months. I was like, oh my, does it even have emotions? Right? Because as a parent, you start getting worried about these things. But then yes, at 4 to 6 months, we expect them to laugh, to show excitement, to recognize familiar faces, right? My baby was showing excitement and he was recognizing me and his sibling. However, he was just not laughing. He would smile, yes, and show that he's interested and excited about it, but laughing, no. He started laughing at 9 months, right? So at 7 to 9 months, we're expecting him to have stranger anxiety, to seek comfort from caregivers, right? They're afraid of strangers, and every time they are going through something, they will seek comfort from their caregivers, okay? That's what we're expecting. We're expecting a baby to understand stranger danger. I now know my people. Therefore, if I'm going through something, these are my people, okay? So we're expecting, we're expecting that. And then at 10 to 12 months, we're expecting a baby to show preferences, right? I don't like this, I like that. I love this one. This one is my primary caregiver, therefore I'll run to them more often, right? They start playing simple games. Your peekaboo, they understand peekaboo. Peekaboo, right? They understand patty cake. They understand running about. They understand those simple games that don't need too much understanding, that games that don't have so many rules and regulations. Those chasing games, those primitive games, let's just call them primitive games. They start understanding those primitive games, okay? Where was I? Yes, they start expressing affection at around this age. They tell you that they love you. When they want something, they may even hug you. They start being manipulative at this age, consciously manipulative, right? Because at 6 months, maybe the manipulation is not conscious. They're just trying to manipulate you so that they can get what they want. If you don't have boundaries, like we spoke about last week, so if you don't have boundaries, they may take advantage of you subconsciously. But now at 10 to 12 months, it may be conscious. The manipulation may be conscious because emotionally they are now aware of what they're doing. They're aware of pressing buttons. If I press this button, this is the result, right? So at 10 to 12 months, expect those forms of affection, which may sometimes be manipulative. And there is a stage whereby, as a parent or a caregiver, you should be strong and know how to say no without guilt, how to draw your boundaries, and how to be firm, right? This is the stage at 10 to 12 months. And then we're moving on to how to support milestones, right? we have spoken about the emotional ones, mental ones, physical ones, and psychosocial ones. Okay, I won't really touch on spiritual ones in this format, but I will speak about it under how to support milestones, because I feel like spirituality is just a support structure, right? It's not something that is in your face that, okay, I can see that's physical, okay, that's emotional, okay, that is that. Spirituality is just between the lines of cognitive and emotional. Therefore, it's something that needs support. You need support to draw the line. You need support to know when and how, especially if you're a child. You're just trying to ground yourself. You haven't really been a citizen of the physical for longer, so you still need guidance here and there. So yes, I'll implement it in the how to support milestone segment. So the first way you can support milestones is to want to encourage tummy time, right? Tummy time helps the baby to strengthen their tummy muscles, and also to be curious enough to start crawling, right? So encourage tummy time for those things. Also do sensory play and exploration, right? It really triggers their sense of exploration, their sense of curiosity, right? Just be there to implement sensory play and exploration. Talk more with your babies. I will always say this. Talk more with your babies. Don't just say, no, it's just a baby, they don't understand me. It's just a baby, they'll be wasting my energy because right? Talk more with your baby. Speak. The more you talk, the more they recognize your voice. The more you talk, the more bonding. Just like we were discussing last week, we're discussing bonding with your baby. The more you bond with your baby, the more you talk, the more you're speaking life into your baby. The more you talk is the more you're connecting with your baby. The more you talk is the more you can be able to ground them and seal their aura and your aura. Yeah, you're killing lots of birds with only one stone. We're just talking, right? So you can do this by narrating daily routines, right? Especially when they're sitting, they're watching you. I am washing the dishes. You see, I am enjoying this. It is therapeutic for mommy, or it's therapeutic for whatever, whoever is speaking, right? Now I am rinsing them with water. This is water. This is a tap. I'm closing the tap. I'm opening the tap. Open water, right? It also fosters their speech development, okay? In as much as you're bonding and connecting and fostering play, you are also elevating the rate at which their speech develops, okay? Also singing is one of the ways. That's why Cocomelon is winning. Okay, so singing is one of the ways you can train your baby's mind to speak and connect faster. Singing is rhythmic, as we spoke in our last video, one of my last videos, that a baby easily gets grounded by rhythm. So anything that is rhythmic will ground the baby and gain their attention faster, such that when you sing, you are not only bonding, you are not only making them recognize your voice, you are also elevating the speech, and also at the same time grounding them into the physical, okay? So that's what singing does. Also read aloud, right? It will develop their reading curiosity. Also, it may develop their reading skill or their reading muscle, right? Also at the same time, you're also killing thousands of birds with only one stone. You're bonding, you're making them recognize your voice, helping them recognize your voice, you are helping them elevate the speed at which they grasp speech, and they are grasping a language, they are grasping the curiosity for reading and learning, right? So just read aloud to them, and also foster storytelling. Back in the day, our ancestors knew that storytelling was a way of, as I've said, hitting 1,000 birds with one stone, right? Because when you are storytelling, you are elevating this person's what is it called, Gepa? The focusing level, right? The level of focus, right? They can focus a longer period of time. You are elevating their interest, the parts of their amygdala that develops interest in things, right? They'll be curious to learn, they'll be curious to know, though their focus level will be elevated. Their speech skills is trained further, and it will be faster. The rate of speed towards learning speech will be elevated, right? Sound, you are bonding, right? You are healing them as you are telling their stories. You are right, you're channeling them. There's a lot of things you do in just storytelling. So the power of the voice, the power of speech goes a long way than not. Okay, so do storytelling. Also, how to support milestone another way is through touch. Massage your baby. I will always promote shea butter. Shea butter is the most natural ever lotion you can ever find in this realm. Shea butter. Massage your baby to ease their muscles, to foster comfort and calm, right? And it's also a way of speaking life into them, using your energy. This thing called Reiki, right? You are emitting your healing energy, your love energy, your whatever words of encouragement or whatever manifestation you want to manifest into the baby's life. You are speaking it into existence. Remember, your heart space, your heart chakra is the most powerful spot or space in your body, because it emanates energy to as far as more than 3 kilometers from source, from where you are. So imagine if you're using your hands. Remember, your hands are the extension from your heart chakra. So if you're using your hands to touch whatever you're touching, whether you're cooking, whether you're making art, whatever you're touching with your hands, just know that whatever is in your heart, whether good or bad, is being emitted through your hands into whatever you are doing. So be careful of what you touch when you are in a certain frequency. I always make sure that when I touch my children, I'm in a frequency of speaking healing, of manifesting life onto them. Whenever I'm angry, or I'm in a frequency of anger or a frequency of depression, I make sure that they even know. I just ask for personal space. Guys, I'm going through something, can I have my personal space? Because I don't want them to absorb what I'm going through. Sometimes I literally come to my office and just lock myself here, sit here until I'm back to manifesting life. Oh, but then we're just disconnected from these things. We're disconnected from these things, guys. However, I will just state them in bits and pieces, okay? So yes, massage that baby, speak life. This is the best movement to speak life, because you are now conscious of what you're doing. You're massaging the baby, literally touching them. So speak life. Tell their aura what you want with them. You are a success story. By success story, I don't mean success in line with the systems that are currently governing this world. No, by success, I mean that whatever you want will come into fruition. Whatever you touch will turn into gold. You are speak life into your baby as you are touching them. So yes, massage your baby, cuddle with your baby, wear your baby. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you, baby girl. Wear your baby, right? I know that I had promised you guys to bring my baby carrier. There's this baby carrier I was using with my little one, the youngest one. With the first one, I would wear her the same way, but then with this one, this carrier is so amazing. I'll bring it maybe next week, but I'll see a topic whereby it will fit perfectly. But wear your baby, guys, especially skin to skin. If you live alone or there is no anybody you'll be embarrassed around in the house, just advise you to be naked, be bare skin on your torso, and then wear your baby on your skin. This carrier I'm talking about, I'd wear my baby, and also it would help me with feeding the baby, hands free. I just wear the baby and I support his head, and then the baby tilts towards the boob, and he could boob hands free. Yet with my first baby carrier, with my first child, The baby carrier was perfect. Yes, I could meme hair or wear hair on my front, but whenever I was to breastfeed, I was supposed to hold her and then hold the boob at the same time, so I couldn't do any other thing while I was wearing hair. But with this one, it was like he was my he was my boobs. He was literally attached to me. He was my part of my flesh. That's how perfect it was. So I'll bring it whenever I'm okay, or whenever I see the topic where we can address or talk further about baby wearing, right? So yes. Cuddles, cuddle. As we said, cuddling closes your guys' aura, right? Because it grounds you guys that we are here. This is where we are. This is where our aura starts and begins. Therefore, it covers the aura up. As we said in the past videos, that when you are a new mom, especially between 0 to 12 months, your aura is open. You've just given birth. You've just literally went into the spiritual realm to retrieve the soul. So your aura is still open. You are still attracting every form of negative or every form of energy, even the negative ones. So you're still open like that. And I don't even want to mention your baby then. Your baby is still extremely vulnerable because their aura is just open. It doesn't know where it starts or ends. It is a new soul in this realm. It doesn't know what's right or wrong. So everything that is in line with their vicinity is accepted into their aura. It's just hum. That's what we call it kuhabula, because you are right. So mother and child, in the first 12 months of you guys being in this realm, niyahabula, everything, you are just bringing it forth. So when you cuddle, you are not just bonding, right? And you are not just helping the baby reach their milestones, but you are also covering your guys' aura, because you are saying this is where we are. Our aura start here and they end here, and we are closing it, right? So cuddle, wear your baby, massage your baby, right? And also routine, right? I'm always speaking in every week, in every video we make, in every live we're on, that rituals are grounding. A routine is a ritual, right? So rituals are grounding. They ground you because you know that, okay, now I'm doing this because of that and this. I'm doing that, right? So you are grounded. You have a routine. You have a ritual. You are then grounded. It's not chaotic. This also helps in your aura, because as above, so below, right? If your aura is chaotic, yes. If your environment is chaotic, it means that your aura would be also chaotic. So it won't close, right? There'll be so much chaos. Your aura will still be saying, what am I? What to do, right? So you'll always be like that. So ground yourself, ground your baby. Your baby should know that now this is bath time, this is food time, now it's sleep time, right? It helps the baby feel safe, and when the baby is safe, they then feel safe to explore, because they will know that, okay, there is time for sleep, but then for now, let me do that. There is time for this, for now, I'm free to roll about, right? So your baby is then free to then explore things and do new stuff, because they know that, okay, it's time for playing now, right? Okay, it's time for sleep now, okay? So yes, they develop such things. It's safety, or developing safety. And then, now I'm getting to the part whereby I want to talk about nourishment, right? Nourishment is a very broad spectrum, because it's not just food, right? When you're giving a baby healthy food, food is medicine. So when you're giving your baby healthy food, it helps them grow their muscles faster, it grounds them faster, it gives them enough nutrients to explore, right? However, there's this thing, there's teas, there's herbs, there's all of those things that are indigenous to their body, right? I always say this in every video, that we have gone to Western, guys, yet we are not Western, we are Africans. Let's use the things that were given to us to nourish our bodies. Our bodies are carrying billions and billions of years of DNA from our forefathers. And our forefathers used to use these things that are in our environment to enhance themselves. And now we are saying that all of this is rubbish. We're going to the West to adopt things that the West have been using for billions and billions of years. And then we cry foul when things are going south for us and things are going well for the West, because the West stuck to what is indigenous to them. See, we are saying, no, bring your medication. We will take medication from the West, even though we're not from the West, and we expect everything to align with us. No, it won't align. Therefore, I always say this. Please and please use herbs. Use herbs, use herbal teas, cleanse, find people who know these indigenous medication. They're baby teas that are good for babies. They can help them reach their milestones faster. They nourish the babies. They nourish them from before. For me, example, I take these teas before pregnancies. I plan my pregnancies, therefore I take these teas before pregnancy so that the baby can come and find a clean environment, because we do a lot of things that make our wombs dirty as women, things that make our spermatozoa but they make them bad fertilizers as men, right? So when we take these herbal teas, they cleanse away these negative energies and negative things we've been consuming. So now you're ready to have a baby. And when you have a baby, there are also teas for that moment, for the moment of pregnancy. So the baby, in as much as they found a good environment, but their aura is also cleansed, and their whatever energies they are carrying is also cleansed. And together with the mom's energy, everything is in harmony, everything is aligned during pregnancy. And also after pregnancy, there are teas for that you, wow, it's thundering bad, let me be fast. That you cleanse the pregnancy process, you cleanse the baby, right? There are also teas for nourishing you postpartum, mother and child. But then we're like, oh, Western medicine. We're not Western, guys, we're Africans. Therefore, I always encourage you to nourish yourself as the mother and the baby with these indigenous teas, because they then activate the DNA faster. The DNA remembers that, oh, walking is like this, right? You then remember, it helps you remember who you are and what you are, right? But then if you keep on taking things that are not indigenous to you, I'm not saying what and what not, I'm just putting out information out there. Whether you take it or leave it, it is not for me to do. I'm not saying do what I do, and I'm not saying what I'm saying is right and you're wrong. I'm just saying that think about this. Think about this. You are not from the West, but you believe so much that things from the West will edify you and fortify your life. Anyway, this is just me overthinking. I don't know. So yes, nourishment. And then let's go and bust some myths. Okay. Myth number 1. All babies crawl before walking. No. Some babies, they just sit and then stand up and walk, right? There are babies who are like that. They sit and then from sitting they walk, right? Some babies then they do crawl, yes, and then they walk, but it's not the same, right? So these myths of saying that if a baby was sitting and then they stood up to walk, they are now evil entities and all that, refrain from that. No baby is the same. No, this baby thing is not one size fits all. Motherhood is not one size fits all. Baby milestone development is not one size fits all. Nothing in this world is one size fits all. Remember your fingerprints. There are like more than 7 billion people on this planet, but then each and every one of us has their unique fingerprint. Imagine then if you want to be boxed in the same box as the next person, how constricting that is, right? It's very limiting. So do not compare one child with the next. Don't even compare siblings. Yes, they share the exact same DNA, but never compare them, because fingerprints. Everybody is a unique snowflake, okay? So yes, talking late means poor intelligence. No. Talking, just as I've said, is another developmental milestone. It depends on the environment, it depends on how nourished you were, it depends on genes, and there's a lot of things to consider as to why a baby was late or fast. It doesn't have anything to do with intelligence. It doesn't have anything to do with good parenting. No, it is layered. There are a lot of things. Yes, it may be possible that the baby maybe was undernourished, was malnourished, right? It could be possible. Or you may nourish the baby all you want, but maybe the baby needed a certain type of environment. Or you can nourish the baby and give them a certain type, the best environment there ever was, but then the baby may then need, maybe the baby needed something else. So you can never get it right. You can never get it right. And it's not about getting it right or getting it wrong. No, it's just about what the baby is. You can never get it right or get it wrong. Just do what's best for your baby. I always say this. Whenever you do anything in love, you do anything out of love, then you have done the best thing that could be done. There is nothing better than doing something out of love. So don't be pressurized by society. Don't be pressurized by all of these things that are coming left, right, and center, or else you will always be parenting out of guilt. I will always say that. Okay, milestones are strict deadlines. No, milestones are not strict deadlines. What I was just speaking about was just a range at which most babies reach their milestones. Yours may reach these milestones earlier, another one may reach the same milestones later. It doesn't mean that you're a failure as a parent. It doesn't mean that anything was wrong with your baby. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that life is extremely layered. It's a mystery, really. Everything is mysterious. Therefore, somebody may have, by chance, tapped into something and it led into something better or worse. So it doesn't mean that you did something. As long as you've done it out of love, then you've done the best thing you could ever do for your baby, right? So early talking or walking means that the baby is genius. No, it's just the same as the previous one I've just tackled. Development is only physical. No, development is holistic. Emotional, spiritual, and mental development is as important as physical development. But then, because we live in a patriarchal world and capitalistic world, we're always looking at the physical development. Crawl, walk, so that you can start being productive. What about emotions? How are we raising an emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent generation? How about mental health? Are we raising a mentally stable and mentally strong generation? What about spiritual? Are we raising a generation that understands the layers of spirituality and where to draw the line? Right? We're too busy focusing on the physical in mostly every sphere of life, and forgetting that a person is a holistic being. A person is not just physical. A person has so many layers. The physical is only less than 1% of what a person truly is. The physical is only the manifestation of the other spheres, what I've just mentioned. There is spiritual, there's psychosocial, there is mental, there is emotional. All of these combined then produce the physical. So what you see in the physical is just only a reaction, a byproduct of a reaction that happened in all of these other spheres. So the physical is a manifestation. So when you try to correct the physical, it means that you are correcting the effect, and it's impossible. If you want to correct something, you have to correct the cause. If you get me, you get me. So when to seek for support, right? When the baby is constantly missing multiple milestones, right? As I've said, a baby may sit and then stand up to walk, right? But then there's some babies who sit, they don't crawl, and they're still not even walking, right? They're still missing a lot of milestones. Another one, let's go maybe to cognitive, right? As I've said, first they recognize voices, then they start babbling, then they start saying mama, dada, right? Maybe your baby doesn't recognize voices, right? Maybe your baby doesn't recognize voices. They're just reacting the same way to everybody else, but you're like, who cares, right? And then your baby's still not babbling, still not saying blah, 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 blah. You're like, But then the baby's still not saying mama, 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 even after 10 years, after 10 months, then that's when you should be worried and start seeking for help. It doesn't necessarily need to be medical help. No, you can go seek a shaman's help, anybody's help, anybody you trust, anybody you know that is health-wise knowledgeable. Could be an indigenous person, and I strongly advise that you go that route. But then, since we've been westernified, it's okay, seek for a pediatrician, right? We love them, yeah. Baby shows no interest in interaction or movement, right? The baby is just still laying there. At 3 months, is still laying there. He's not rolling, he's not moving. At 6 months, the baby is still not moving, not rolling, not sitting there. At 7 months, at 9 months, the baby is still not moving or right? Then you seek for support. Baby loses a skill they previously had, right? Maybe your baby was sitting and now they're back to sleeping on their back, right? Be a bit worried about. Don't worry. Again, it's not a cause to worry. I'm saying that don't be concerned. Again, I'm losing the word, but let's just say seek for support if that happens, right? So yes, again, as I said, if you're interested in knowing about where to go when you want to seek for support, or when you want these herbal teas or herbal remedies to cleanse or to strengthen mother and child, don't be afraid to WhatsApp the number here, and then we'll take it from there, okay? So yes, let's summarize that shit out of this thing. Okay. My body aches. Okay. So today we were on week 12 and we were talking developmental milestones in the first year, right? Our session theme summary reads: this week highlights the wonder of your baby's first year growth, from first smiles to first steps. Milestones are not deadlines, they are invitations to witness unfolding. Every baby moves at their own rhythm. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Excerpt from our book, Born into Change. The gist is, growth is not a race, it's a revelation. The chapter we're going to take this from is chapter 2, Childhood and Identity, an identity formulation, 1.3, Building Inner Autonomy. It reads: a child's confidence may be inherited, but it's also cultivated from feeling emotionally safe, seen, and supported. Autonomy doesn't come from pushing independence too early. It grows when a child feels secure enough to explore who they are without fear of rejection or failure. When emotional safety is embedded in early relationships, a child begins to trust their own voice, instincts, and inner compass. Wow. Okay, that's nice. What is our quote for today? Our quote reads: your baby is not behind, they are becoming. Woo! Baby! That was so fire. So yes, if you need support with anything, you're a mom, maybe you're confused, you don't know what to do or how to do it, or maybe your baby is doing this and this and that, don't worry, just text this number and we'll take it from there. And also every day, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m., we have a circle for mothers whereby we just offer support to each other. There is no leader, it's not mentorship, it's not therapy, it's not intervention, it's just a space where we just hold each other as mothers. So every day at 10 a.m. we do that. So WhatsApp that number and then we'll take it from there. And also, if you're interested in having a mentor, somebody who will hold your hand one-on-one outside of a group session, outside of a live, I am there for you. Just text that number, we'll take it from there for the mentorship classes. And also, if you want to learn how to make earrings, or you're interested in going through the course and learning how to make art and craft, also text this number below your screen. But then also we have books. Yes, we have books, we have courses, we have PDFs, we have just those things that I am doing with my hands. Right, if you're interested in buying them, everything you want to know, just text this number on your screen and then we'll take it from there. However, I feel like from me that's it. I believe so. I think so. Yeah, from me, that's it, guys. See you next week, Friday. Same time, same place, 1 p.m. South African Standard Time. And also on TikTok, on Mondays, 1 p.m. We're on TikTok trying to understand life. So I teach about these things, your life secrets, I don't know what to call it, but then the laws of attraction, the laws of mentalism, right? All of those laws that will help you get not ahead in life per se, but you know yourself better, you know yourself, or as to when to do what and how, right? It's the information that is used by your secret societies, right? However, they are using it to control the world, and for you, you're going to use it to understand yourself and maybe make yourself better in line with your soul purpose, right? So every Monday on TikTok, 1 p.m. we are going to be talking about those topics. And then on Wednesdays we are not on Wednesdays, on is it on Tuesdays? Mondays we are talking Mondays we are guiding. Tuesdays we are art and crafting. Thursdays we are listening to me venting about my life. Then Fridays it's mummies. On Wednesdays I'm just taking a break. But then from me to you guys, see you next week Friday, same time, same place. And also TikTok, guys, see you Monday to Thursday. Thanks for being here, guys. Bye. Oh my god, I'm so tired, my bones. Bye Facebook, bye TikTok.